Hey traders, let's take a moment to thank and feature one of our top sponsors, FX2 Funding. If you're looking to get funded, listen up. FX2 is offering traders the chance to trade with up to $200,000 in simulated capital and receive up to 85% of their results. If you're interested in getting started, use the link being dropped in the chat or the link down in the description below. If you pass the evaluation, you'll receive your feedback and gain access to your new account. FX2 allows traders access to a wide range of assets and allows traders to hold their trades over the weekend. FX2 is giving A1 Trading Show fans 15% off the evaluation fee if you use promo code A1Trading15. So if you'd like to learn more, again, use the link being dropped in the chat or the link down in the description below and use code A1Trading15 at checkout for a discount on any of their evaluations. Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, welcome back. And sorry I'm a little bit late here today. Was running a little bit behind, and all that matters is we are here and into the news, getting ready for the market move here this morning on CAD CPI, which of course, if you trade any of the CAD pairs, they will likely move here in just a few minutes. Now, what we're specifically waiting for is the CPI year over year numbers that are going to come out. as well as just it will give us a general look at what the inflation story is looking like in Canada. Now, why does that matter? Well, if the Canadian central bank sees the Bank of Canada sees inflation still being a persistent problem, they may act to raise interest rates. Well, take a look at the dollar CAD here this morning, guys. Dollar CAD trading lower ahead of the news, and it seems like a pretty big move to the upside for the Canadian dollar. Now, when I say upside, let me clarify for new traders. I'm talking about CAD strength would push the US dollar against the Canadian dollar down, right? Whenever you're trading a currency pair, you have to think about it's two currencies quoted against one another. So if the Canadian dollar, which seems to be strengthening right now, is going up, right, that's going to put pressure on the counter currency, or in this case, the base currency, right? So we're taking a look at the dollar CAD here, which is trading lower just minutes before the news, which is a pretty big deal. Take a look at the hourly chart, and you could see we've pretty much just seen the dollar CAD continue to sink lower. And what's the idea here? What are we bullish on dollar CAD? Well, overall, I am still pretty bullish on the dollar, but I'm not necessarily bearish on the CAD specifically. One thing we could also take a look at ahead of the news is we can take a look at what smart money thinks. And of course, this is what institutional money is buying and selling. We're using the EDGEFINDER for this. And you can see that the Canadian dollar is pretty bearish on the CAD, which, is something to think about in terms of the latest report as well. We saw a big decrease in CAD interest. So I actually think there may be an opportunity to short the CAD and possibly buy the dollar, right? We see that from this list here. We have big dollar bullishness this past week, as well as on the overall COT positioning. It's 57%, which is a pretty significant long ratio for the US dollar, but specifically the Canadian dollar is very bearish according to institutional money, which is betting short on the CAD. So how do we take this? Well, again, that dollar CAD might be a buy somewhere, but as we speak, when looking at dollar CAD specifically, I don't like this price action. For me, what I'd be interested to see would be breakouts the other way. So again, sellers are in full control of dollar CAD at this time, but institutional money seems to be buying and building a position. So if we do start to see signs of cracking to the upside, I'm very well maybe looking to get long. But at this current point, I am not interested in selling or buying the dollar CAD, especially with news right around the corner. We're about 30 seconds out, guys. We'll keep tabs on this. Let's actually try and do a speed run here. We're going to set up dollar CAD on the top left. We're going to do Euro CAD. I'm going to have to go real fast here because we are coming into breaking news here in about 20 seconds. So let's do CAD JPY, and finally we'll do CAD CHF. We got 15-minute charts all around, guys. We'll watch the reaction here to the CAD news. So breaking news coming in right now. All right, guys, and here we go. We'll see what the numbers come out to be for CAD CPI here today. And there it goes. Dollar CAD down further, Euro CAD down further, CAD Swiss. So CAD strength coming in. So possibly some heated numbers on the inflation department. Let's see if we have the numbers coming in on forexfactory.com. Still says pending. There it comes. Building permits were hot. CPI month over month was up. And that is showing some heat in the inflationary side of things. You can see again, an initial push to the upside for the Canadian dollar. The CAD against the Swiss franc is up, the CAD against the Japanese yen, and the CAD strength has pushed the dollar down further and the euro down as well. Now, will this persist? Let's go take a closer look at the data, see if the rest has populated here. There it is, 4.1% median, 3.9% trimmed. Common is still pending, but again, these look like pretty hot numbers across the board. So that is a pretty impressive number. So again, what this shows, guys, is that inflationary pressures were on last week for the US. It seems like inflationary pressures are also present in Canada. And why that matters is, well, first of all, the two economies are like they're cousins to one another. That we're right next door, right? Canada and US, we're neighbors. And so if they're experiencing inflation and the US is experiencing inflation, perhaps there is a little bit of stubbornness that is back on the table when it comes to the inflationary story in at least North America, but probably expands over to Europe as well. So why does this matter? Well, the CAD is strengthening due to the fact that, again, the Bank of Canada may need to stay strong on inflation, just like the US may need to stay strong on the inflation, which especially seems interesting when you look at the way the currencies are reacting. Look at this. Dollar CAD is giving back a lot of those gains. And, I would have actually said, if you think about it, USD is in the same situation. Inflation is kind of hot. The economy is looking all right. There's a housing issue in both countries, right? That's going to cause currency strength because the central banks, the respective central banks, the Fed, and of course the Bank of Canada are going to need to do something to raise rates or hold them high for a long period of time. Both of those things are going to act to strengthen the currency. So we're seeing some counterbalance on this side of things. But you take a look at something where the story is not quite the same. Canada versus Japan. Japan not nearly as likely to raise rates in the short term. Anyways, guys, let's keep going. Let's do some chart analysis here. Now that we have the setups, what is the thought on dollar CAD? I'm going to pull up the 1 hour chart here. So dollar CAD, 1 hour chart, big slip to the downside here. And the question is this likely to continue? Well, right now, momentum seems to favor the bears. And we broke out actually of a really key level of resistance here. This is pretty clear breakout. If you take a look left, you can see this level of support. Buyers were strong here for a while, and then it fell apart and has led to kind of persisted selling. So in my opinion, here's my take. Dollar CAD, I'm actually bullish on this pair, but not with this technical analysis that we're seeing. So for me, fundamentally, sentiment, right? We looked at the smart money tracker. We looked at what big money is doing. They're buying the dollar, they're selling the CAD, and we look at fundamentals. Actually, fundamentals are kind of mixed. Oil is really strong, which tends to be bullish for CAD. So, but also the dollar is really strong due to, again, inflationary pressures. So honestly, fundamentals don't really help me too much on this one specifically, but sentiment does. And so the only trade that I could actually see for dollar CAD would be a swing all the way back, breakouts, retests, breakout, retests. So I'm not at a position where I can actually justify any trades on dollar CAD, and we move on. So let's take a look at something else. What about EuroCAD? EuroCAD, let's see. Also, we could take a look at some top setups on the EDGEFINDER, see if we have anything CAD related. EuroCAD, bearish. Now, if you're betting on CAD strength, personally, I'm a little bit more interested in EuroCAD. Why? Well, again, the EDGEFINDER has it listed for us. If you're not familiar with the EDGEFINDER, it is our algorithm that basically takes into account economic data. If you're new to fundamentals in the stream right now, let me do something for you real quick. First of all, if you would like to learn more about fundamentals and you'd like to get daily analysis from myself and Frank, who is our other analyst here at A1 Trading, we put on these shows, we put on all of our Telegram content or newsletter content. If you guys would like to join our free Telegram channel, let's drop a link in the chat here. And we'll have that Telegram link for you guys who would like to join us there. It is free to join. We have a Telegram chat or Telegram channel that has tons of free value every day. So if you're looking to learn more about fundamentals, this is the spot. Frank does a great job writing up fundamentals all the time. So if that's something you're struggling with and you'd like to learn more of, totally free, join that Telegram. It's linked in the chat right now, as well as in the description if you're watching this at a later point. Okay, so EuroCAD, bearish. Yeah, I like this, right? Because EuroCAD, we take a look at the fundamentals. Let's look at the economic figures. GDP favors Europe, but inflationary pressures favor Canada. Unemployment favors Canada as well. And interest rate, or I should say labor. We're going to, by the way, EDGEFINDER fans, EDGEFINDER true fans, you know who you are. If you're an EDGEFINDER true fan, say something in the chat. Let us know you're here. Say I'm here. Or I don't know, if you're an EdgeFinder like super fan, like you get it, like you watch the EdgeFinder closely like we do, let us know in the chat. It means a lot to us, as you can probably imagine. It's kind of like it's not quite the same as like a singer who like writes a song, or like a songwriter, and then the people in the audience are singing their song. But to Frank and I, it kind of is like that. It's like the coolest thing in the world when people understand the software that we're writing and building, so that people kind of people who resonate with it, hey, we're family. We're trading the same thing. Cool. Thank you guys. Some of you guys are in the chat right now. Respect. Thank you for being here. You're awesome. Yeah. So fundamentals. Let's walk through this. I'm speaking mostly to EdgeFinder fans and users here. These 4 columns. Cool update that is coming. This is in the works. This unemployment figure, we are going to tighten up the algorithm pretty substantially. Labor is next. Inflation was our previous project. We really tightened up our calculation on inflation. Next up, labor. We are taking out, instead of just looking at unemployment percentages, we are going to look at jobless claims. We are going to look at job openings in various countries. We're going to look at the number of jobs changed. The unemployment percentage, of course, will still stay in there. We're going to expand our study, our algorithmic calculation on unemployment. That is one of our next to-do list items here in the office. So for those of you guys who are super fans, like super fans, I know it's not necessarily super exciting, but our unemployment is being changed to labor. We're going to change this to labor, and we're going to have an extensive study on various indicators across several countries, and we're going to improve our algorithm pretty substantially in the coming weeks. Frank and I we're going to fill up some boards on that, if you know what I mean, like whiteboards, filling it up. Anyways, yeah. That COT column Frank added made it easier to understand as well. Gren, thank you for saying that too. I helped on that on the UI side. Frank, of course, did a lot of we did the computation stuff together. Frank put that together, and then I helped on the UI stuff. That UI stuff, I think, between Frank and I, we put that together. Super fan, thank you guys. You guys are in the chat today. Thank you for that. Like I said, it means a lot when we meet other people who are using the tools that we're using ourselves. Anyways, so here's the thing. One thing dollar CAD traders might be saying, Nick, why don't you be a bear on dollar CAD when it's trading lower? Well, again, the fundamentals right now are all blue. They're all favoring the dollar or the US economy at this time. So I'm going to be on the fence with that. Agree with Gren? Cool, Mighty King. Thank you very much. If you guys don't have the EdgeFinder, real quick, we'll drop a link for those of you who would like to join the family, you would like to get access to the tool. I would argue that it is a very, very good investment. It is something that obviously we're building it painstakingly every single day. It is clearly something that I use in my own trading, and so does Frank. And if it's something that you think would be useful to you in your trading, please click the link, chat with us, direct message us here, and somebody in our office, our staff will help you out. They're trained to answer any questions you might have, get you set up with a copy of the software, so on and so forth. EuroCAD, look at that, guys, still going lower. If I was to be short biased on a currency pair, it would be Euro USD. I'm sorry, EuroCAD. I do already have, well, let me double check that I still have my euro dollar position open. Yeah, I'm still in my euro dollar position. It's not doing very well though. Here's Euro USD, guys. I am short euro dollar. Took it at this resistance level here. Initially saw a good bit of, I'm not sure why my chart markup is not on this. Am I on the right euro dollar? Yeah, I am. That's weird. I don't know what happened. Anyways, I am in a euro short. I shorted this one inside of the group, and we are actually, I'm still in this trade, but barely. So this is pretty much what my trade looks like. I sold at resistance here. I like the euro dollar, and it's actually seeming like it's coming back into play, which is nice. But again, I am short, and if this thing goes higher, I'll just take a small loss on this one. But we had an initially very nice trade. The market moved to my favor, and then sometimes overnight you just get that overnight surprise, if you know what I mean. So I'm still holding on to that euro trade, but we'll see if that one comes into play. It's a very small position for me, as most of my currency trades tend to be. I am still kind of on the sidelines with a lot of my main things that I trade. Gold is possibly something that I wanted to talk about today, but it's not. So here's the thing. I'm stuck in a situation. And again, EdgeFinder super fans, like Jamie, what's up? Super fan of the EDGEFINDER. I bought the tool this month. First week, I made 3.3K thanks to oil trades pointed out by the EDGEFINDER. Jamie, you caught that oil trade? Jamie, I'm jealous. I'm super jealous. I have been wanting to trade oil. I have never watched a chart so long without being able to get a trade. Like I've watched oil, and the worst one, Jamie, and to anyone else who has been watching oil as well, it's not a chart that I usually trade. So I've been very picky on like which trades I wanted. I wanted this one. And by the time I stepped away and came back to my computer, it had already done that move. That was the trade. That was my setup. Now I don't use pending orders. I've made this this point a few times on streams before. I don't use pending orders just because of the nature of what I do inside of our Discord channel. If you're in our Discord, you know that I share my trades inside of our group. So like when I take a trade, I have to go write it up and make sure that, you know, members get the information that I'm thinking. And it takes me a few minutes each time I do this to write up a trade alert. Well, I don't use pending orders because I don't always know, when I enter a trade, I need to be present so that I can go do my write up for members. Does that make sense? So I have like this weird, content creator problem where, you know, I can't use pending orders because I use market orders because I have to go do my analysis, and I usually get, you know, hit with a bunch of questions when I first take a trade. So it is kind of just the nature of, you know, running a service like this. I don't use pending orders, which sometimes can cost me, like the one I just mentioned. I missed that oil trade. But yeah, I share every trade that I take. If you guys would like to join the Discord channel, please feel free to sign up for a membership. You can also join by sending us a message. We'll drop the link in the chat again if you guys would like to send a direct message to my team, if you'd like to ask about memberships and what they entail, if you want to join our educational stuff, if you want to download our strategies, that sort of things. All of that is available within the Discord. So join us here, click that link, and you'll be you're more than welcome to be a part of the community. Anyways, let's see what else we can do here in terms of setups. I mentioned gold briefly. Let me come back to gold. So gold has been a frustrating thing for me this past week. I haven't taken any trades on gold. It's another frustrating. Well, I have one trade that I'm in, which is Eurodollar. So at least I got a setup. Of course, it's not doing amazingly well, but at least I got a trade. Gold, however, I am bearish on gold, but price action is disagreeing with me right now. So I have no trades and no intention to trade gold until we roll over. So what I mean by that is that, you know, if I look at the EDGEFINDER, this is the thing about the EDGEFINDER sometimes people don't understand. The EDGEFINDER doesn't tell you like, oh, sell it right now and you know, it's a certain win. It's not like that. The EDGEFINDER gives us like all of the conditions and the variables that it computes, and it comes up with a general bias. And then I take it and I use it as a confirmation tool with my technical analysis. So for me, this was giving me a bearish reading, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the technical chart is bearish, right? The technical chart looks pretty bullish to me right now. So for me, how do I trade gold? Well, I want to see failure. I want to see breakouts to the other direction. And then I may be more interested in possibly selling into those rallies. So the thing about the EDGEFINDER is it is a confirmation tool that uses confirmation in the form of fundamentals and sentiment, which is what most traders do not incorporate in their analysis. Most traders kind of stick to the technical charts, which is fine. There's great value to be had just with technical charts. But if you want to add a layer of fundamentals, again, that is the purpose and the point of the EDGEFINDER. It automatically calculates a ton of stuff for you. So anyways, gold, probably not anything specifically interesting right now. Quick look at dollar yen. Dollar yen, this is going to be the quickest chart of the day. Really simple. It's at resistance. I'm not short, but I'm bullish overall. So I'm waiting for pops, breakouts, retests, long continuation. I'm bullish on the chart, but it's not doing anything just yet to the point that's ready for a trade entry for me. Again, dollar across the board right now, I'm pretty bullish until further notice, but basically we need to see a breakout, retest, and then I'm looking for long continuations on this. I think this chart has more room to the upside. It's my personal opinion. I've been bullish on this one for a while, and you know, it's just sitting at resistance, waiting for something to happen personally. Yeah, so let's see. I have the advantage of UK time zone, Nick, so I caught that oil trade around the 86.6 levels. Jamie, congrats, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Every time frame or every time zone has its pros and cons. Yeah. Yeah, certainly different time zones available to different people and places around the world. So again, I am short on euro dollar. That is my current position. Only the only thing I'm really in, and look at that, it might be coming right back into break even. So I might have survived this trade. I don't want to speak too soon because it very well could keep going up. But I liked this level of resistance. I felt strongly that we could get a continued push lower on the euro. Dollar strength has been a lot recently. We had strong CPI numbers this past week. And of course, we have the Fed tomorrow. So be careful, guys. I want to just say, everybody, be very careful. We do have a lot of central bank commentary coming this week, which will likely be moving a lot of currencies. We have the UK, the Bank of England. We have, of course, the inflation numbers that we just had from Canada. We have the FOMC stuff tomorrow, which will kick us off. But we also have like Turkey. We have Japan. We have the Swiss National Bank. It is an incredibly busy central bank week. So keep your eyes out and be very careful. There will likely be some spikes that very well could be unexpected. So be careful, guys. My stop got hit on euro dollar. That wick got me. Dang, that's tough. Yeah, I think I barely survived it. I've been having a couple of those trades recently where like I'm in a trade and it comes up and it barely misses my stop loss. And then, I had one trade on the NASDAQ recently. That was like one of my best trades the past 2 months, was a trade where I barely survived and it came all the way back and just flew higher. I daydream about it way too often. Anyways, guys, we're going to now go to some technical charts with Tom from Simply Forex. You guys know Tom. You love Tom. I know the crowd always gets excited when he comes on. So let's bring on Tom in just a moment. But before we do, we're going to take a quick second to thank our sponsors, let a quick thank you video roll, and then we'll be back with Tom to go over some more technical chart setups. Check it out.
Attention A1 Trading Show fans. If you're interested in getting free access to the EDGEFINDER or our premium trade alerts, listen up. For a limited time, our show's partnered broker 8cap is giving out free access to our products when you sign up for a new trading account with them. If you already have a broker, you may want to consider switching to 8cap because of their low trading costs, a wide range of trading assets, and their amazing customer support. If you'd like to get access to our software and Discord server for free, click the link being dropped in the chat right now and ask one of our team members for more information. Don't miss your chance for free products and an award-winning broker. Now, back to the A1 Trading Show.
All right, guys, and we are back with Tom from Simply Forex. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Yeah, good, Nick. Morning, mate. How are you?
I'm good. And it's good to have you back on the show. I mentioned this just prior to you showing up, but we do a lot of technical chart setups with you each time you come on. So I know you also tend to be on the currency side, which is awesome because I tend to be kind of on the other side. So it's always great to have somebody to balance out my indices and gold fix. So Tom, what are we looking at here today? Any setups that you're looking at?
Yeah, there's a couple of things, Nick. So it's all stemming from...
Also, quick thing, Tom. Sorry to interrupt you. I think you're quiet. I'm not sure if it's just me. It seems like is there a way to turn your mic up?
Let me just...
All good, guys. This is the reality of streaming. You have mics and cameras and lighting, and there's a lot of extra variables, and sometimes it can be tricky. So all good, Tom. No worries.
Can you hear me now, Nick?
It seems still a bit quiet. It's a little bit weird. I'm not sure. I've never heard that before.
No. I shout. If that helps, or is it just too...
I don't know. It seems just like it sounds like you're very distant. It sounds like it's quality fine. It's just very, very quiet. I have to turn you up like all the way up to barely hear you. It's very weird. It's still very quiet. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if maybe Chandler's trying to play with the settings on our end, but I don't. Yeah, you're maxed out on our end from what I can see.
Well, what I'll do, I'll come back out and come back in, Nick. I'll try and...
Okay. Yeah, no worries at all. We'll be here.
I'll try and sort it out. I'll see you shortly, guys. Sorry about that.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah. So okay, cool. Tom's he's gonna do a little technical difficulty restart. Maybe that'll fix his issues. Again, guys, I've got my Euro trade pulled up, and I just checked, and I was really, really, really close to getting stopped out. But this wick here came in real strong. I want to see how that reaction is treating the indices. Are they down here this morning? Still down, man. That is wild. I do have some. I have some bullish positions on the Russell right now, which have not gone very well recently. It's more of a swing trade. I've sold a lot of covered calls, so I've been collecting premium on this. If you're not an options trader, you can. What's so cool about options is you can basically sell puts and calls, which are selling bets basically to other traders, and you collect premium just to sell those bets. And of course, there's more to it than that. And it's nothing in trading is easy, but I've had a lot of success the last few months just really trading selling puts, selling calls, selling covered calls on the Russell. The IWM is specifically what I trade for those of you guys who are stock traders or options traders. It has been a really cool kind of change in pace. I've really added. I've traded options for a while, off and on, but this year I've really ramped up my options trading, and it's been awesome. All right, Tom seems to be back. We'll give it another shot and see if he's got it sorted. Hey, Tom.
Hi, Nick. Can you hear me better now?
It's a lot better.
Good.
I think it's good.
Yeah. Okay. I've just sort of bypassed that mic, but yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
No worries. No worries. It happens. Like I said, streaming is the tough part about streaming is that there's no it's all happening live. So if there's
yes.
something that breaks or some issue, it's just everybody's in on the fixing it prior. So okay, cool.
I constantly embarrass myself, Nick, live, but there you go.
Yeah. All right, Tom. So like I mentioned just before, what is the what's on the radar for you? What are you watching? You watching any currencies? You watching indices? I know recently you were watching indices a little bit.
Yeah, I was looking at indices a little bit, but then the price actions just become just not nice to trade. So if you look at the S&P, if we went back in time, literally a couple of days ago, this would be a nice trading, everything's in an uptrend. We're getting bullish candles. We could potentially take price higher. Mm-hmm. But then all of the indices have pretty much, just had this bearish reaction. Yeah, so it's become a little untradeable for me, potentially ranging. Yeah, but we shall see. I don't want to buy this candle as yet. I'd need to see something quite bullish push off of these lows for me to consider, starting to look at the indices again. And that's similar with S&P, NASDAQ. They're all looking quite similar. But a couple of things I am looking at are the dollar index, basically. I like this level that it's at. Yeah, so on the weekly chart, you can see this level through here is a really important weekly level for the dollar index. Yeah, and the dollar has just been flying up. I mean, look at those bullish candles. When you think a bit of dollar weakness will come in, it has just shot up again. But I think this level could potentially see a bit of weakness in dollar. This is a selling level. And I've seen that across a couple of US dollar pairs. So if we look at US dollar, Canadian dollar, if we go to the day chart, we saw a breakdown in daily structure. So let's start with the weekly chart, actually, because a lot of these US dollar majors, euro, US dollar, pound, US dollar, they're at these really key weekly levels for me. Yeah. And US dollar CAD was one such major pair. And then we've just had this massive bearish reaction with last week's candle. And then that followed through with a structure break for me. Because if you follow the US dollar, Canadian dollar daily chart, at this point, we are still in an uptrend. Yeah, we have not broken these lows. But yesterday's candle, we've been looking for lows off of the back of this. So as soon as we got this break, we've been looking for shorts, and this was the target. However, I just couldn't get in on this pair. It was a tricky one to get in on, but that was one such US dollar pair, and it all moved quite quickly. But was also looking at gold.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were, I've seen a structure change there in terms of the day chart. So, we were, in a downtrend on gold. We know this is an important weekly level here. And then price just shot up, breaking these last highs through here. We've got a nice bullish candle on gold. And, we need to remember I'm an intraday trader. I can be in a trade for a few hours or maximum a couple of days, really. And I'm just looking to just, come up to this level here and these last highs, but that's still about 3 million pips because that's gold.
Sure.
So there's room for me here to just move into. And on the H4, we've had a nice reaction at this grey zone. Yeah, I say grey zone, it's a support zone for me. Why is it a support zone? Just because price has reacted historically at this level. Yeah, we've got a nice bullish H4 candle. But I actually entered on the H1. Once we saw, this setup, which I love, what was once resistance, keeps hitting it, resistance. When it actually breaks and retests, this resistance becomes beautiful support. And we got a lovely reaction, and I'm in this trade. Yeah, entered here, stopped down here, just looking to take price up to there.
Very nice.
So yeah, we're in gold as we speak.
Yeah, that's an awesome trade. I mean, that is like perfect, picture perfect setup on the hourly chart there. You barely had any drawdown, if at all, if you were able to get in that that pullback there. And again, gold looks to me like on the price action side of things, it looks very bullish at this time. And, it's one of those things. It's like sometimes I'll have like a fundamental bias. Like I'm kind of bearish on gold fundamentally, but from a technical analysis perspective, I've mentioned this earlier in the stream, I have no ability to sell this chart. There's nothing for me here on gold that tells me like, oh, it's time to sell. Because similar to yourself, I'm not necessarily an intraday trader, but I'll trade the hourly very often. And with the hourly chart, what I need to see is, as you yourself do as well, like we need to see structure pivot back the other way. But if you're in, long setups, to me, it's like until there's a sign of this market pulling back, this thing could continue to float higher. And it does look bullish on the price action standpoint at this time. So for me personally, my reaction to gold, as I mentioned earlier, would be, I don't have any longs, I don't have any sells. I would just basically say, if you're in longs, let it ride. And if it starts to show signs of breaking the other way, I may then be interested on the short side. But trying to be patient with gold. And I'm sure in your case, when you're holding on to winter, same story. Question for you, Tom, on that side. How are you managing that trade? So I'm somewhat familiar with your exit style, but for people who may not be, how do you play it now? You've got a trade that's running nicely here. As you mentioned, you got that pullback. How are you exiting the trade? Are you trailing stops? Do you have a strict take profit? Let everybody know.
Okay, so I didn't actually enter here. I need to see a bullish reaction first and foremost. If I'm going to buy the market, I need to know that buyers are in the market, and this candle is my entry candle. So I got a slight pullback here. I've entered here. I've put my stop below here. And as long as I get a risk to reward of 1:1, that's like the minimum. So if this is my reward, and this is my risk. So we're getting about 1:1 on this trade, okay? But what I'll do is once it hits target up here, I will close 80% of my trade. I mean, you can choose 70, 85, 72.9, whatever you like. But, I'm going to take some profit. I'm a big believer in taking profit at the next resistance level. Yeah, because a resistance level by definition is sellers. Yeah, so if I'm buying, I don't want to see sellers. So I will take 80% profit here, okay? But then I've still got 80% to play with, and I still can let 20% run if it really does, start to rip upwards.
Sure.
But let's say, price comes up here, hits this, and then, I've taken 80%. If it comes back down, gives me another bullish candle to ride it up again, then, I can re-enter the same pair and still make money on technically the same trade, basically gold buy trade. So yeah, that's how I roll.
Sure. Yeah. And I know just from our past conversations, I was vaguely familiar with your 80% idea. And that's something for everybody in the audience, as Tom mentioned, I think is a pretty cool tip. 80% is not the end all be all rule that everyone must, subscribe to, but that's what Tom has worked for you. And for those of you guys in the audience, if you like taking partials, maybe you're more of a 50% person, maybe you're a 75% person. Very much depends on what is somewhat comfortable to you. There is not a absolute right and wrong way to trade. And so, if you have this idea where let's say you're in that trade that Tom has, and you take half your trade off here and you keep the remaining 50% going, obviously if this trade comes back, you may give back you actually would give back all of your profits if it came right back down. But if this market kept going, you'd stand to gain a lot more if you held that other 50% instead of something smaller. But again, there's pros and cons to everything. In what Tom is saying too, if there's a major level of resistance and he's closed 80% here, acknowledging resistance, and it comes right back in, he's going to feel pretty smart that he did that. So again, it very much is, pros and cons to everything. What are you in trading? I'm a big believer that you have to pick your weakness. It's like when you play any sort of video game where you choose your character, whatever, your character is never going to just be 100% the greatest at everything all the time, at least in most games. But the ones I play, it's like you can be good at this, but you can't be good at this. Same thing in trading. You got to pick your strengths. You got to pick your weaknesses. So great points there,
I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more, Nick, because my weakness was letting trades run.
Yeah.
And letting 100% of the trade run was a problem for me. So if I took some profit off and secured some, I can then let the trade run, almost like a risk-free trade,
Yeah. Yeah. So important. And so under talked about is acknowledging, most new traders, Tom, they think that, profitable traders are like superheroes that don't have weaknesses. And I remember thinking that. I really did think that. I vividly remember being like a great trader, just like they are picking this market apart. They know where it's going all the time. It's perfect for them. And it's like, now I've spoken with, I'm sure you have as well. We've spoken with hundreds and hundreds of traders, if not thousands of traders over time. I've spoken to all different walks of life with traders. Lots of them have different strategies, but none of them claim, the profitable ones, they don't claim to know what's going on all the time. It's very difficult stuff. So yeah. Yep. Well, Tom, I want to thank you for coming on the show. As always, Tom comes on every week and helps to make the A1 Trading Show what it is. We have, guests from all different parts of the world, and Tom is a great contributor to what we do here on the show. If you guys appreciated Tom for coming on, help us in recognizing Tom by subscribing to him on his YouTube channel. He's got his own channel. If you guys want more Tom action, go sub to Tom. Here is his link. It's Simply Forex on YouTube. Click that link. It'll take you to his channel. Just hit that subscribe button and maybe he'll start popping up in your feed a little bit more. So Tom, thank you very much for coming on the show, and we'll see you back next week.
Yeah. Cheers, Nick. Thanks a lot, mate. See you next week.
Yeah. See ya. Always good to have Tom on, guys. He is like I said, he's a staple to the A1 Trading Show these days, and you guys love him. So definitely worth sticking around anytime he comes on. Very, very technical trader, which I think can be great. I do have a tendency because I'm very fundamental and fixated on sentiment in the markets and stuff. I sometimes can get pulled away from price action and stuff like that, which I know a lot of traders want to see more of. So having the guests is a nice way to install more price action stuff for me. That's just a little bit behind the scenes on that. Anyways, guys, indices continuing to take a nosedive this morning. Look at NASDAQ down. Not great for my Russell trade. Somebody asked me earlier if I ever get assigned. I absolutely do get assigned. I got assigned on IWM, which is the Russell. I've been assigned on my puts, and I am now selling covered calls. So I'm kind of hedging or buffering my floating loss on the Russell by selling covered calls. And I will continue to do that until I get assigned on those covered calls. So if you know what all that meant, then awesome. If you don't, then don't worry. It's options lingo. I am an options seller. I don't really buy options personally. Nothing, against it, but for me, where I've found my edge is really trading the indices with options and employing some technical analysis with it. It's been awesome. Euro dollar. Let's see how we're doing here. Euro dollar. Thank goodness we are back in the blue. I guess it's blue if we're talking forex brokers. Because of course, that is a weird thing. In stockbrokers and a lot of futures brokers, it's in the green. And for forex brokers, it's in the blue because your profit turns out to be blue in forex brokers. It's kind of interesting how I don't know why MT4 went so heavy on the blue color. Collins, what's your target? What's the most realistic target on a quarterly and yearly basis in terms of trading? Collins, you opened a can of worms with that because people don't like my answer to that usually. And if you don't like it, this is me personally, but I personally will shoot for like 2% to 3% per month. And if you think that's low, I respect your opinion, but at the same time, I've been doing this for a very long time, and I've interviewed a lot of professional traders. 2 to 3%, being able to actually consistently do that over time compounds beautifully into a very large amount of money over the years. So for me, 2 to 3% per month is phenomenal. And again, I've never actually met a trader who has done consistently more than like 5% per month and proven it. You got a lot of people on social media who will say that they can do that, and they will toot their own horn over and over and talk so highly about themselves. 5% is nothing, 10% is easy, 20% is easy. It's all nonsense because you ask any of those people to put up a track record or log into their brokerage and show it over many years of proof, they cannot do it because nobody has done it. Nobody has made 20% per month for 10 years straight. Nobody does it. And that's okay. You don't have to do that. Trading is harder than that. That would be so difficult to do. And again, I'd probably blow up in the process. Actually, I certainly would. If I was trying to make 20% per month, I guaranteed would blow up, and any profitable trader would, because your risk would be way too high. I shoot for really, really low, honestly, 2 to 3% is generous. I'm fine with like 1 to 2%, but it's also because I work on a larger capital basis. I'm not funded, but I have my own, capital, and 1 to 2% is very, very worth the effort and time. You may ask, why is that so low, Nick? Well, it's because people, when you actually take the time to backtest, you realize it's really difficult to produce massive edges in the market. Like if you have a 1-to-1 risk to reward, you may think like, oh, if I'm really good, I can get like 70-30. 70% of the time I'm winning, 30% of the time I'm losing. But that's really, really difficult. That's like next to impossible. If you're able to do 55-45, then that's great. That's actually incredibly good. It's just not what social media tells you is good. Social media is so fake. It's so untrue when it comes to trading, and it's so deceptionary. So I am not here to spread nonsense. I'm here to trade. I've been doing this for several years, and I'm trying to give you guys, my 100% authentic, real take on this stuff. It is incredibly difficult. What time is CPI? CAD CPI already came in. The stream we started 40 minutes ago. Actually, a little bit more than that, 50 minutes ago or so. Stream CPI already came in. It was red hot today for Canada. Is this live chat or pre-recorded? It's live. How many pairs should I trade on? So I have a video ND coming out that will show you what I trade. I trade probably 20 different charts, but because I use fundamentals, a lot of times, like 2/3 of my list of things get totally disqualified. So I have to look at a pretty wide basket in order to actually get trades semi-consistently. But if you're somebody who has like, if you're trading the 15-minute chart and you get a lot of signals, maybe you just trade one. Just depends. It's up to you. I trade like 20 different charts, but I only, usually get triggers like maybe 2 to 3 trades a week. I really don't get that many, at least on one side of my trading. On my options trading, I'll get another 2 to 3, maybe a week. So I usually take 4 to 6 trades a week. Just depends. Also, guys, Modern Gameplay says, Nick, please give some tips on how to grow a small account aggressively. Modern Gameplay, my tip, if you want to grow a small account, is take the long road. Patience, long term, or get funded if you find a firm. Again, we are sponsored by FX2. The guys over there seem very, very professional. I've spoken with them several times. They're high quality people. If you are interested in getting funded, that is another route that you can go down. FX2 will be linked in the description as well if that's something you're interested in. They're here based in the US. They don't offer currently. They've put a pause on accepting US clients just because of all the stuff going down, of course, with my forex funds, which is not necessarily, all prop firms are doomed kind of stuff, but it at least sets a precedent of like, I don't know, maybe they're thinking, maybe where's the CFTC going next? And I guess nobody really knows. So anyways, you could go the prop funding route, but I don't recommend growing I don't recommend growing an account aggressively in general if you think you're going to make like 10, 20% per month. I think aggressively for me is like 3 to 5% per month because you still have to risk manage. There's no trading I would ever recommend where you're just risking foolishly. There's just 0 times where I think that's good because you're just gambling. If you want to gamble, do something different, but don't trade because again, if you're risking high amounts of money on your account per trade, you're going to blow up. It's just a matter of time because losing streaks happen to the greatest traders on earth. What makes you and I different, right? So, yeah. Yeah. Also, we do have some videos, as Chandler pointed out. The producer typed this. We got some videos on the topic on the channel too. Yeah, we definitely do. If you guys want to grow a small account, I have some in-depth guides on how to do that. Most of it involves the real world stuff, working extra hours at your job and putting in extra money into your trading, investing in the right education, putting time into back testing. These are the real things that it's not fun to say those things or hear those things because when I had a smaller account, my fascination was, how do I get this thing huge? Like, that's all I want to do. And I'm telling you, from the other side, from all the hurdles that I went through, don't try and chase expanding your account quickly. You're going to blow it up and you're going to be worse off than you started. Take it slow. People who get rewarded in this game are patience, very, very heavily reliant on patience, time, and compounding growth. So excited for FOMC, Nick? I am. As always, it's always interesting to see what the Fed has, and sometimes it creates some nice catalysts to trade. Anyways, guys, quick thing. If you guys are not on our Discord, let me say something too. If you're thinking about joining a service, if you're somebody who is like trying to genuinely grow accounts and learn something, I highly recommend that you take a small amount of money and sign up for a service, whether it's ours or someone else's. If you would like to get the trades that we're sharing, they are incredibly resourceful to people. A lot of people respond very positively to getting the trade alerts. They're not your traditional signal service where, we're not out here just saying like, oh, copy and paste and you'll make $1 million. We're absolutely not saying that. The purpose of the group is for you to be able to see the trades that Frank and I are taking in full detail, explanations, breakdowns, charts, analysis. You can see it is a very in-depth live room where you can see the trades that are being taken by Frank and I in detail. If that would be something that would be helpful to you, you get alerts sent directly to your phone. You also get educational material. We have coaching webinars throughout the week. You can download our strategies. If you are serious about this, take me up on this offer. I'm telling you, we have had so many people who have been far better off after joining our community. And if you are serious about this, message us right here and we'll take you to a spot where you can get into a direct message conversation with someone on our staff who will set you up with a membership. It is not free. It is something that, we take our members very seriously, and it's a lot of work on our end to help members to improve. But if that is something that you would benefit from, please consider joining our Discord channel, our VIP group, which is all you have to do is just send us a direct message and we'll hook you up. We'll get you a nice subscriber discount as you are watching the stream. If you're watching with us live, click that link and maybe we'll see some of you guys in there. Last thing before we go, guys, is I do also want to say, if you haven't joined our Telegram channel, I think we crossed 33,000 people yesterday, which is awesome. Make sure to join our free Telegram channel. This is also very helpful. How much money is it? The VIP, if you want to join for the trade alerts, message us. There's different pricing options. So again, speak with someone on our team. They'll get you hooked up and they'll find you the best option for you. Thanks, guys, for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys, and we will see you back on the next live stream. Have a great day.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And if you create a new trading account with ACAP, you can get tools like the EDGEFINDER completely for free. Check the link in the description for more information. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.